Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to learn matrix multiplication. So if you remember the other day when we started on matrices, I told you there were two kinds of multiplication. There's scalar multiplication, where you're just multiplying a number by the whole matrix. And then there's matrix multiplication, where you're multiplying two matrices together. So the first thing that we have to know is when we're allowed to multiply and when we're not, because we're not always allowed to multiply two matrices together. So here's the rule for that. If you write the dimension of the first matrix that you're supposed to multiply and the matrix of the second, or the dimension of the second matrix you're supposed to multiply. Okay, so let's pretend that I had given you a 2 by 3 matrix and then we were going to multiply it by a 3 by 2 matrix. This is allowed. What you have to check for is that these two middle numbers have to be the same. If they're not the same, you cannot multiply the matrices together, and you would just say it's undefined. So that's really nice when you come to those kind of problems, because you don't have to do any work. Then there's another cool trick here. The numbers that are on the outside tell you what your finished matrix should look like. So if we were to multiply these two matrices together, we would end up with a 2 by 2 matrix as our answer. Okay? All right. So second example, if I gave you a 2 by 1 matrix and a 2 by 2 matrix, we would not be allowed to multiply those together because these two numbers do not match. Okay? So if the middle two numbers match, then you can multiply them together. If the middle two numbers do not match, then you cannot. Now, that brings up a good point though. Let's pretend this is matrix A and this is matrix B. We cannot do A times B. Okay? But what if I asked you for B times A? Then the B would come first and you'd have 2 by 2. The A would come second and you'd have 2 by 1. And then you could multiply it together. So you have to be careful. Sometimes you can do it in one order, but not in the other order. Okay, this is going to look really confusing at first, so just bear with me and we'll get through this. Okay, so first of all, this is a 2 by 2 matrix and this is a 2 by 2 matrix. So we are going to be able to multiply those together because these two numbers are the same. And we know that we're going to end up with the 2 by 2 matrix when we're finished. Okay? So that means that we're going to end up with something that has 4 elements in it. One here, one here, one here, and one here. And this is how you're going to do that. What you're going to do is you are going to take the top row of the first matrix and you're going to turn it on its side. So just flip it down there like that. So it would be AB. Then you're going to multiply A times E and B times G and add those together. So it's going to be AE plus BG. Then you keep going until you run out of columns. So A times F and B times H and add those together. Once you run out of columns, you cross that out. You go back to your first matrix, grab the second row, turn it on its side, and do the same thing. So since we're pulling from the bottom row, our answers are now going to go on the bottom row. So I would do C times E, D times G, and add those together. C times F, D times H, and add those together. And again, in a normal problem, these will all be numbers, so you'll just be able to add those together and multiply, and then you'll end up with a normal looking matrix. Okay, so let's do an example. Let's do this top one first. So we have -3, 4, 5, 2, 1, 0, 2, -3. So this is a 2 by 2, this is a 2 by 2. The middle numbers match, so we're good. And we're going to end up with a 2 by 2 because that's what our outside numbers are. Okay, so we take our top row, turn it on its side, and we multiply. -3 times 1, 4 times 2. So that's negative 3 plus 8. Then we keep going until we run out of columns. Negative 3 times 0, 4 times negative 3. So that's 0 and negative 12. So 0 plus negative 12. We're out of columns now, so we cross this guy out. Take our bottom row, turn it on its side, repeat the process. And again, we're pulling from the bottom row, so our answers go on the bottom row. So 5 times 1 and 2 times 2. So that's 5 plus 4. 5 times 0, 2 times negative 3. So that's 0 plus negative 6. Then we just need to do the math. So negative 3 plus 8 is positive 5. 0 plus negative 12 is negative 12. 5 plus 4 is 9. 0 and negative 6 is negative 6. And we did end up with a 2 by 2 matrix, which is what we thought we were going to. All right, let's look at example number 2. So that's 1, 3, negative 2, 4, and then 6, 1, 0, 8, negative 4, 3, 7, 11. So this one's a 2 by 2. This one is a 2 by 4. 2 rows, 4 columns. So these match, so we're good to go. And our answer is going to be a 2 by 4 matrix. So that means we're going to have 2 rows and 4 columns. So again, take your top row, turn it on its side, and let's start doing some math. So 1 times 6 is 6, 3 times negative 4, negative 12. And on the previous problem, I kept writing it as plus a negative. You should know, hopefully, that these two are the same. So whichever way is more comfortable for you, either way is fine to write it. Okay, let's go on to the next one. 1 times 1 and 3 times 3. So that's 1 plus 9. 1 times 0 and 3 times 7. So that's 0 plus 21. 1 plus 8 and 3 plus, or 1 times 8 and 3 times 11 is 8 plus 33. We ran out of columns, cross that out, come down and get the bottom row, turn it on its side, bottom row goes on the bottom row, so we're down here now. Negative 2 times 6, 4 times negative 4, negative 12 and negative 16, negative 2 and 12, 0 and 28, negative 16 and 44. And then we just need to clean these up so that we can get a nice answer that looks semi-normal. 6 and negative 12 is negative 6. 1 plus 9 is 10. 0 plus 21 is 21. 8 plus 33 is 41. Negative 12 and negative 16 is negative 28. Negative 2 plus 12 is 10. 0 plus 28 is 28. Negative 16 and positive 44, that's the same as 44 minus 16. So that's going to be a positive 28. Okay, so that's all there is to multiplying matrices. Have a nice day.